Hey guys, so I wanted to pop on tonight and just share an experience that I had with the dragons, and not just the dragons, but like baby dragons. We don't really talk about baby dragons as much as we refer to as dragons. Like we always think like big, massive, very tall, very ancient, full of wisdom dragons. But just like us, they were birthed from an egg at some point. They were babies. Um, but the baby dragons that come through are they're very, very, very intelligent, and they're just so sweet. Like they have the biggest hearts. And so I thought it was very interesting tonight. I had an amazing session with my friend and soul sister Jen. She had her Sacred Dragon Quantum Trance journey tonight. She recently had a quantum trance a few weeks ago, maybe a month. Not quite sure. It just seems like time's kind of really flown by for us. But anyways, we've been connecting with our dragons very intentionally. For our Sacred Dragon event that is coming up, the Nature Dragon masterclass and ritual. Sorry, I kind of blinked there for a second. Too much information being downloaded at this time. But anyways, so I had this really great session, and I'm not kidding. Like this was like a 3.5 hour session. I am so proud of Jen for just she was just great. Like her dragon, like a solid, stable connection, no problems. Trying to get her, into trance. It was really, really good. It was a very powerful, potent, very informative session, and I'm just like so over the top. And I got to, incorporate not only my dragon magic but my healing as well. So as a healer, that made me very, very happy. That made my brain very happy. That made my heart very happy. And a lot of stuff came up for me as well, which this does come up from time to time with these kind of sessions. We got to talk a lot about, like codes and like the shadows that we just kind of we have a hard time addressing, or like the blockages that sometimes we have a hard time working with and understanding. So we had a really great conversation around so many topics, so many things. I would say Jen, like top notch, organized her questions so well. Like she had so many great questions for her dragon, and her dragon was just so grateful that to be in this space with her human self, and the way she explained it is very similar to how I feel when I connect with my dragons. So it felt just really great. I don't know how to explain it other than it just felt amazing. To hear someone else, another dragon saying, like, it's just nice to have this experience, through my human and to be reconnected. And it's, like after, such a long time, because there was, for a long time, we didn't really have access to, like the higher dimensions the same way we do now, in this human reality, I guess is what you would say. Um, so, anyways, so tonight, just trying to wind down and just really calm my mind down, because and I currently have a headache. So if you're picking up on that, please just nope, send it up to source and say I don't need this. Um, but anyways, so just I got done eating and I was just chilling, and my favorite little Lucy decided to be a brat, and she had to be corrected. And apparently, I got so mad and so frustrated that my blood pressure like shot up through the roof, and hence why I have a really bad headache now. On top of like the energy in the session was so massive, it was just a lot for my body. And thankfully, I do have medication that I can take as needed. It is for anxiety, but thankfully, it is also a blood pressure medication. So we actually talked about this in Jen's session about how like we have new pathways forming. Gotta love my little hair here just sticking out, little alfalfa. But we have new pathways forming, from the crystalline body, and so it can be uncomfortable when new pathways are forming. So, I did feel a lot of energy coming in during the session, and then, like having that moment of, human frustration of like, oh, why would you do this? Um, and so, giving not only myself grace after the fact, granted it took me like 30 minutes to calm down, but, giving myself grace and, sending love to Lucy and just, sending love and showing gratitude of like, hey, you know, etc., etc. But what I found really funny is I didn't realize that my blood pressure had spiked because I was so in the moment, so in my human body, so in my like present moment of frustration of like, oh, um, I didn't realize my blood pressure had spiked the way that it did. Like I felt like it was already spiking because I was, I was feeling a headache coming on. And I was just like, oh, I'm gonna have to take my medicine soon, um, or at least get some ibuprofen in me. And so I heard one of the baby dragons come through. Like I heard them like loud, like very loud, like asking me, where my spirit partner is. Granted, they asked him by name, and I was just, and I couldn't answer. Like I was just like I was just like, like the feeling of like I don't know, like I'm very discombobulated. I'm just very frustrated right now. But I could hear this, baby dragon like blood pressure. Like, like he is so cute. Like he doesn't speak the English language very well, but he is like dragon language. He is on it. Like, and he knows that sometimes my mind cannot like translate, dragon language when I'm like in a such a high escalated human moment. And so like he's just like trying to get it through as much as he can that hey, something is wrong, you've got to be careful, like calm down, calm down, calm down. um and so I just thought it was so precious that he was calling in, not only calling in my spirit partner because I couldn't, but he was like telling me, blood pressure, like medicine, like go take your medicine, woman. And like it was just like I'm just so proud. Like I'm just so proud of these baby dragons, and like just not just baby dragons, but like these baby energies that are coming through, and like even like the physical babies that are being birthed, through very very strong women, and they come through. Like I have another friend, I won't say her name because out of privacy, but um, both of her daughters in the womb have communicated to me telepathically, and I've shared messages with my friend, and she's currently carrying again, and this time her daughter just like she's blunt. This one is like blunt, like so blunt. Her other daughter was very blunt. Like um, when I, was doing sessions with her, I'd have to be careful with my friend. Yeah, I don't know what's going on back here with all the energy, but I do have my fan. But this is what happens with my energy. It gets pretty wild in here. Anyways, but like, I'll do sessions with, my friend, and like, when she's carrying, like her babies straight up tell me, like, excuse me, I need that done too. Or they'll just communicate a message, that their mom needs to hear. With this one, she recently, like her dad, you know, he's not as, in the belief system that, my friend is. And she woke, like she like got her dad's attention, like the baby that she's carrying, my friend, like she straight up like telepathically communicated to her daddy, like get up and get mommy some food, she's not feeling well and I'm hungry. Like so like these babies are strong, whether you believe in that or not, that's up to you. But I had to come on and share like this amazing moment where I got to connect with such a beautiful, beautiful soul, a beautiful energy, and not just, one, but like multiple, multiple souls tonight. And so I just wanted to show my gratitude, and just kind of bring awareness around, like when you think of dragons, baby dragons do exist too. And that's just something to think about. So have a good night.